nuance in tech, pop culture, and what have you since 2017. Alright guys, let's get this done out of the way and quick because I hate saying the name of this earphone. The name of this earphone is the the BGVP DMS. Its brothers are the DM7 and the DM6. I won't even say the BGV you know what? In my article, I just called it BigVip because even when I was typing out stuff for headphonics and ohmage, every time I typed it out, I was trying to say BGVP in my brain and I couldn't do it properly. So we're just going to call it BigVip. It's easier to say. And I think the company should either change the name to BigVip or it's just something completely else because this thing is a horrible word to say. The DM7 defined what BigVip can do, but the DMS, which is both cheaper and cooler looking than its brothers, is my current BigVip earphone. I like its lines, its slim cable, its slim plug, its awesome metalwork and more. I like it so much that I'm questioning hitherto support for a few key chi-fi earphones out there. Let's talk about haptics and build. Yes, the DMS's slimline cable is microphonic. Yes, it tangles, but heck, it has an actual real neck cinch and it even looks okay. Its plug is just as low-file and cooler still, it is branded. Overall, it is sturdy, strong, and made to weather the horrors of intimate proximate use to sweat and face oil. Strategically placed, you could probably garrotte a flock of home-heading ducks with it. Face on, the DMS's metallic body is sexy. Its finely perforated grille sits under open BigVip branding, and its sound tube grille and flange are sharp and beautifully machined. At its hundreds, the level of quality and detail work shown in the DMS gives Ultrasone's Sapphire a run for its thousands. Unlike Ultrasone, however, BigVip don't appear to be able to design outside of the same old custom-cum-universal. It is a lazy and tired look. It works from a branding perspective, but only when the manufacturer primarily designs custom-fit earphones. Typically, the fit of CCU designs is so generic that you might as well be wearing someone else's ear impressions. Long ran short, the DMS doesn't sit firm in my ears. It is comfy enough, but a press anywhere basically rises one part or other out of the ear. Too many custom-cum-universals forego proper ergonomic design for what amounts to cheap faxing of a favorite staff's ear impressions. The DMS has basically the same accessory set as the DM7, but with 4 fewer earpieces. It packs in the same foam and dual fulcrum grays, which are the only ones I personally dare to try in my sensitive ears for longer than a few minutes. The rest seal well and sound good, but they're not made for my ears. Your mileage may vary. On a bit of a sad note, the only ear tips I find comfortable, the gray, soft, dual fulcrumed ear tips, unfortunately are poorly made. One of them was so embedded into the box that I couldn't get it out with my fingers and I needed to use something. I ended up using an IKEA chopstick. And this thing, while it's blunt and it's just a bit of bamboo, basically burst through the fulcrum. This is ridiculous. Nothing about the earphone or its accessories is cheap or gaudy. It's the right amount of everything. If only BigVip could ditch the tired CCU design, end users would really have something unique to celebrate in high-end chi-fi. What BigVip did with the DMS faceplate and cable are heavenly. Everything else is so-so. It's got 6 drivers. It's sensitive out the wazoo. It sounds really good, by the way. Really good. It's warm, but it's warm in the right way. It's not warm in the DM6 way, which is like warm and then suddenly cold and splashy. No, it does it right. In fact, this thing sounds so damn good. But you know what? I don't want to give away everything I was going to say in the review. Let's get to it. To date, the DMS is my favorite sounding BigVip earphone. Alas, it is so damn sensitive that it approaches high-des MS4 territory, surpassing the DM6 and cleaving close to the DM7. With the number of hissy daps on the market in current year, no earphone should be this sensitive. If you want to blow your ears because you want to perform all of the necessary steps to get 120 decibels at 24-bit range in high-res audio, Nathan has a plan for you. You're going to need a really good DAP or a nice smartphone in order not to get a whole bunch of hiss and other artifacts out of this bad boy. Now something like, of course, the Cohen Plenue D2. This bad boy I have basically shilled for a while. Not shilled, plugged. You could probably call it shilling. The DMS is not great for mini-disc. If you don't hear a crazy hiss out of something like the Iowa AMF75, you're going to get massive frequency fluctuations from something that doesn't hiss, like the Sharp MT290 or whatever this is. Where the DM6 dulls the highs and upper mids, the DMS merely lowers sound pressure in the same bands. Stereo detail and space feel are super wide in the mids. In the highs, they come together. That stage is much wider than it is tall, and it steps forward along the Z-axis only as far as a single toddler trot. This makes it one of the least deep-sounding earphones I've reviewed in a while. Still, It's not the wall of sound you might expect, with small nuances in the Y and the Z axes that make for a gentle, if marginally, 3D detailed stage. Most of that detail throws to the sides, with anchors located traditionally, below the jaw and just between the ears. Texture detail in the stereoscape is good and straddles the distance between the DM6 and the DM7. It is responsive to pretty low signals and is basically even-steven up from 70 Hz on up into the lower mid-range. It's enough to slightly rumble the open seconds to Marcus Scholl's main stage and able to retrieve definition and texture from most genres. As such, it is higher in pressure in comparison to the DM7. Lows also have a bit better stereo detail than they do in the DM6. Mid-range stereo detail and sense of space are superior to the DM6. I believe that this, more than the DMS's higher sound pressure in the mids, separates the two. I like this chi-fi! Where the DMS shows an engaging, deep, and nuanced mid-range, the DM6 is dull, if not lethargic, in direct comparison. The DMS's coherent translation from mids to highs keeps listeners' expectations in line. That is, while the upper frequencies trail off, they do so with no unexpected peaks or troughs. The denouement is natural, expected, and demonstrative of a deeper knowledge of mature listening habits. All frequencies react speedily in build and decay. The DMS keeps up with the hardest and fastest hitting of trance without going boom, 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 bloom. Fading cymbal edges shimmer and then go silent. Bass is bloom-free. Unfortunately, the fastish low-pass filter also cuts out some of the environmental feel that the DM6 sometimes injected into music and which the DM7 nailed. For this reason alone, I prefer the DM7 for trance. For most other genres, I feel that the DMS is one of the best sounding, maturely tuned earphones out there in the price range. Alright, let's wrap this up. For design, one big thumb up and another thumb down, and that's because of the back side of this thing being the CCU is just rubbish, and the front side, brilliant grilling, brilliant branding, the cable's good, all that. It's, it's like this. Sound, one big thumb up and another big thumb up. This thing just basically nails everything I expected it to nail. Packaging and accessories in general, thumb up and thumb down. The reason is the accessories have a lot of bad and hard-edged earpieces that, hurt my ears. I've got sensitive ears, you may not. But I think by and large, people are going to gravitate toward the foam as well as the gray sleeves, and they didn't supply enough of either. With the sole proviso that the DMS hisses like the dickens, I'm sold. It's a great sounding earphone, which I prefer even to the DM7 and by a large margin. What I dislike, its custom-cum-universal backside, is something which may be a minority opinion. I strongly stand behind the assertion that it is lazy design. It behooves new universal entries both within and without chi-fi to abandon. Apart from that, the DMS is gold. It's a good earphone, what can I say? My plan this week is to type a whole bunch of stuff for ohmage as well as headphonics, and then to get a couple of videos out. Maybe, if I can, get 3 videos out. Can you believe it? Video stuff, audio stuff, maybe a pop culture thing. I know you guys are just like chomping at the bit for my pop culture stuff because I'm like steeped in that. This channel until this point is being completely dedicated to pop culture. You want to know what I think about movies and books and stuff. I know it. I can feel it. I can smell it.
And that's all I've got to say about the BigVip DMS. It's a good earphone. The price is okay, its accessory set is okay, although I didn't find them comfortable, and the ones I did find comfortable broke on me. In short, bring your own tips.